Hello. Graduation parties are about breaking rules and doing what you want. But is it worth spending it at a water park, where the price for irresponsible behavior can be your own life? Watch the video until the end to find out if all the graduates can continue their lives as adults after the pool. The graduates of Valley Hills High gather at the gates of the Wet Valley Water Park on graduation day. Among the young muscular boys in colored shorts and t-shirts are 3 men in black who don't get a very friendly welcome. It's a local music group hired to play 80s music at the party, and they too are graduating from high school this year. One of the party leaders is clearly against the band's performance.
Our last weekend together and I have to listen to this. You guys know you suck.
The confrontation between the boys is interrupted by the sarcastic Alice, who skillfully hits Phil's sore points with her words. The pretty redheaded girl playfully greets the crowd. She runs the prom committee and proudly announces through a megaphone that she has done her best to arrange an unforgettable weekend for former high school students at the Wet Valley Water Park. Plus, it's an annual tradition for Valley Hills alumni that's been ongoing since 1988. The crowd immediately goes wild and, intending to break all social rules and taboos tonight, unpack their suitcases full of booze and other interesting items. And beautiful Alice, first of all, goes to her lover, the director of the water park, Paul. From the rooms, a bunch of excited guys and girls head out to have fun on the water slides. Meanwhile, the music band is setting up its equipment for the evening performance. At the stage, they are greeted by an old local employee, Conrad Carter. The guy tells him that they're going to play 80s music tonight. This brings back rich memories for Conrad of Wet Valley's opening in '84. However, unlike Conrad, the musicians are not in such a rosy mood. Josh reminds the old man that there was a murder at the water park in '84. Conrad indifferently writes it off as an accident and wishes the band a good performance on the best weekend of the year, even if things don't go according to plan tonight. Charming Priscilla, Paul's wife and water park employee, gathers girls in bikinis for the traditional annual car wash. The wet foam show helps them earn money, which one of the girls will use in fall to study in Europe. Kim comes to the band rehearsal. She knows Josh and has a lovely small talk conversation with him. The couple clearly have a mutual interest, but they are interrupted by a jealous Tommy, who is looking for his girlfriend. Tommy and Kim are dating and work at the water park together. A serious-looking man in an expensive car loaded with blueprints is listening to a message from his son. He invites Michael to the prom and to an evening band performance at the Wet Valley. Meanwhile, the action at the water park is in full swing. One of the graduates, drunk, breaks the rules. He jumps on a slide and slides into the pool with alcohol in his hands. His friend, who jumped in after him, smashes his forehead against the glass bottle at full speed. Shards of glass and blood from the wound fill the pool. Priscilla strolls along the beach in a bikini and attracts the attention of Alice and the alumni musicians. One of them decides to take his chance and introduce himself to her, but his awkward attempt is interrupted by a phone call. The girl receives a call from her lover, Michael, asking her out on a date. Conrad, waist deep in water, is pulling dangerous shards from the bottom of the pool. It's not safe to swim in it now, otherwise the guests might get hurt. At Paul's request, an ambulance takes away the boy who cracked his head. To get the injured man out of the park as quickly as possible, the enterprising man gives the paramedics 2 entrance tickets. Finally, the sun sets over Wet Valley. The band is about to perform, and the musicians need to check if their equipment is ready. The guys get their hands on Tommy, who reluctantly agrees to the request. He can't leave his girlfriend Kim alone even for a while. His fears are justified though. As soon as Tommy disappears from sight, the girl finds herself in the arms of her ex-boyfriend, the lead singer of the band, Josh. The passionate couple goes off to get some privacy. As darkness falls, guys and girls in a not very sober state are getting ready for the party. The drunken crowd of former school kids dives into the water and rides off the slides, completely forgetting to follow any safety rules. Redheaded Alice, meanwhile, announces the start of the concert. As the crowd is just starting to warm up to the music, everyone gets a message on their phone with a video of Josh and Kim's romantic shower date. Tommy sees this message on his girlfriend's phone, and driven by jealousy and anger, rushes to the stage to deal with his rival. He takes Josh down with a couple of punches, to the cheers of the crowd. Priscilla, who has just returned from a date with Michael, tries to stop the conflict and fires Tommy for starting a fight. However, a sense of jealousy awakens in Priscilla herself when she sees her husband Paul enjoying the company of young Alice. The couple has an argument in front of the audience. Josh's father, Michael, does not stand up for his son. He's waiting for him just off the stage and explains his actions by saying that fighting with minors will affect his reputation. To redeem himself, Michael offers to gift his son the Wet Valley Water Park itself, which he is already negotiating to buy. But Josh only wants Michael to treat him like a father, not to bribe him, even with gifts like these. Alice overhears this conversation and immediately goes to Paul, complaining that he doesn't tell her anything. After putting the clingy girl in her place, the director of the water park sends her away, making it clear that they are through. At night, somebody at the water park sets a death trap on one of 3 slides. 2 crossed metal blades. As the sun rises, Alumni Weekend at Wet Valley Water Park continues. Michael is also here. He is surveying the grounds of his future acquisition, when all of a sudden an assassin sneaks up on him from behind. Michael clearly knows the man who is pointing the gun at him, but persuasion doesn't work, and a shot rings out. In the meantime, the kids are gathering for the team sliding competition. This is the 15th annual Sea Snake competition. Old Conrad turns the water valve and starts the water park, while the participants sign up. The winners will get a prize of $500. Rebellious Tommy also comes to the competition. Priscilla reminds the boy that he is fired, but he has come as a competitor and intends to stay. Tommy, however, is not welcome here anymore, and the bully Phil blocks his way to the slides and pushes him away. The angry guy is forced to accept defeat and leave. He wanders alone under the slide pipes and notices a heavy leak at the junction. He finds plastic shavings on the ground and realizes that the slide is damaged somewhere and could be life-threatening. Old Conrad is sitting on the lifeguard tower. He is in a great mood and smokes, anticipating the start of the competition. Paul and Priscilla are organizing the contestants upstairs. Despite their arguments, they have to do it together. A worried Tommy bursts into the crowd of boys and girls climbing the stairs. He's forgotten his grudges and just wants to warn everyone that using the slides is dangerous and the competition must be stopped immediately.
Let me through and stop the race.
He has already earned his status of a lunatic though, so no one takes his behavior seriously. Participants are full of excitement and line up for the competition. The boys and girls are divided into teams of 3. Alice and her girlfriends are demonstratively choosing between different slides to get the attention of her ex-lover and his wife. The girls will ride in the first batch, as will Josh, Kim, and Chad. When everyone is ready to go and the opening shot sounds, Tommy bursts onto the set. The guy makes one more attempt to warn the crowd of the danger and stop the race.
Stop the race! Stop the race!
His panic is ignored this time too. Each team merrily rides down its slide, but one of them is not destined to make it to the finale alive. A cross of metal blades on one of the slides awaits its victims. Tommy also goes down the slide. He's pissed off Phil with his behavior, and he pushes him after one of the teams. Specifically, the redheaded Alice's team, who, with her friends, fell into a death trap. Next to the 2 successfully finished teams, a bloody stream pours down the pipe of the 3rd slide, confirming Tommy's words. From what we see, old Conrad passes out and falls from the tower, twisting his leg. Right at that moment, Priscilla tries to call him on the radio to see if she can send the next contestants. Downstairs, panic breaks out in the crowd. Everybody scatters. Kim is frozen in a stupor in the middle of the bloody pool, and Chad feels sick. Conrad, who regained consciousness, tries to warn others of the danger over the radio. However, the radio doesn't work, and the people upstairs have no idea what's going on. Priscilla decides it is okay to send in the next participants, and provokes Paul to take part as well. 3 new groups are going down the slides. Paul gets the death slide. He hears Tommy, who got stuck in the slide, screaming, and manages to stop too. He tries to pull him out of the death trap when Josh arrives, but the guy doesn't have the strength to stop his descent, and Paul goes straight into the meat grinder. Old Conrad orders Kim to shut off the water. In the back room, the girl finds the corpse of the band's bass player and Josh's father, Michael. The girl falls right into a pool of his blood. The water in the pool, meanwhile, has turned from clear to crimson red. The police arrive on the scene. Josh and Kim are at the lawyer's office. He informs them that Michael has left his entire fortune to his son. In order to inherit it, the boy must first sign the documents for the real estate transaction, which his father did not have time to complete. A mall will be built on the site of Wet Valley Water Park. Josh signs the papers and hands Priscilla the check for the deal. The grieving widow quickly wipes away her tears, and a sly, triumphant smile appears on her face. Her revenge for her father's death at Wet Valley Water Park in '84 is complete. As always, you'll find the movie title in the description. In the meantime, let us know in the comments if you'll be going to a water park again anytime soon. And did you also guess who was involved in the whole thing right away? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that awesome retellings come out as often as possible.